Welcome back to the TriFecta Airsoft podcast. I'm your host, E-Rock. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already so you never miss another podcast. Also, do me a favor. Go on to whatever podcast app you listen to us on and give us a rating and review. That really helps us rank in the searches. Thank you so much. Let's get into the podcast. Yeah, welcome, bro.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is cool. Yeah, I just talked to Mama Yaga.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, not long ago, just last week, I guess. And and now you. So this is cool.
Yeah, she mentioned you'd be reaching out soon.
Yeah, I know. When we were talking, I was like, she was talking about your guys' team, you know, Nebula, and I was like, yeah, I'd love to talk to those guys. That'd be cool.
Yeah, they're all cool.
Of course. So you're Dylin.
I am Dylin, yes.
It's so funny. I just wanted you to say it because it's your Instagram. Yeah,
that's my Instagram. It wasn't my call sign at first, but I kind of just rolled with it because it got too confusing when people were like, "Oh, because I always have a GoPro." People would be like, "Oh, do you have a channel?" And like, "Yeah." They're like, "Well, what is it?" And I was like, "It has nothing to do with the name on my jersey. So hold on, it's this."
You almost knocked your shit down, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to build a cool background. I planning on filming a couple videos here soon because I've kind of been slacking off, but I wanted to have not just a plain old white background.
Yeah, no, it looks awesome, man.
Obviously, it's a work in progress.
Yeah, I appreciate you setting that up for the background. I love when people do that. Like they'll set things in their background when they come on here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the hell's my oh, you know what it is? Hold on. This thing's all fucking bouncy and shit. It's like wow. Yeah, I had a guy that Brim, he had the he's a big Halo fan.
Yeah.
And he had the Halo gun, airsoft gun, whatever, and he had that staged in the back. It looked really cool. So yeah, man, I like that. It looks nice. I like the purple.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of purple. If it wasn't already glaringly obvious.
Well, JP that's on our channel, he that's his favorite color. So it was funny when we did like a shootout. We did this video one time where we did this shootout with one of the guns we had just got in a mystery box. It was I can't remember. It was a nice pistol. Okay. And then one of our buddies was over here who's been on the channel as well. He was the giveaway winner, lives local, and he brought over the the Mark 23, whatever that one is, you know, the Novrich. Yeah. And so they opened up, you know, Johnny was checking this, you know, checking everything, you know, and he's like, yeah, I want to use this one. He opened it up and the, I guess Novrich, his like internal nozzle or something like that is like always purple. I didn't know. Yeah. And JP's like, yeah, I'm going to use this one because it's purple. It's my favorite color. And he's like, Novrich always has these or whatever. I was like, oh, okay. We actually, in that video, we talked about doing a special custom painted gun for a giveaway. And we were going to do, I bought this glitter purple spray paint to do this gun. I never ended up doing it. But anyway, I still have the paint. I was going to do this. And then I see Rogue Customs stuff and I'm like, I'm just going to send it to him and have him do it.
Yeah. Rogue can be very disheartening. I paint my own stuff too. Like I did both my masks and, the upper for my AAP sitting over there. And, then I see his stuff and I'm like, man, why do I try?
Well, when I was talking to him, he's like, yeah, I see people use a rattle can. I'm like, and he's still talking. I'm sitting there thinking like, rattle can. What is a rattle can? Oh, a spray paint can. Oh, what I use. Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. He and I talk about it a lot. And I actually like just recently picked up an airbrush and started doing like different stuff with it. And,
oh shit.
And he's always willing to help. if I'm like, hey, this makes sense, but am I gonna completely ruin my stuff?
Right. Oh, that's cool. So you painted the two masks that are there now?
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's see it.
this is my new one. It's Bunker Kings. It's actually the translucent one, so it's kind of see-through.
Right.
But I painted it with the theme that I actually got from my gun here, which, oh, it's stuck. Okay, we'll bring the whole thing. Cool. But yeah, I like did this first and then kind of just took it over to my mask. And this one, yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Thanks.
Okay.
But I kind of stole the idea from Crisis. She has a like a pistol caliber AR-15, and I really liked it, so I completely ripped off the idea.
Yeah.
And I told her I was gonna do it, and then I showed her later. She's like, "Oh, that's cool." But yeah,
I kind of about Crisis, the one I think I did the podcast with her.
Yeah, that Tech City girl. Yeah, Drop Dead, that Tech City girl. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
she has cool stuff.
Yeah, she has just like I saw her because I've always liked like Galaxy stuff and things like that, and I saw her gun, and like prior to, I was just kind of like just mixing colors like blues and purples, and it would like look cool, but then I saw hers and it was like a lot more organized, and like the blue faded to the purple and stuff, and I was like, that's like the same idea but just looks way better.
Yeah. So
I just, like I said, just totally ripped it off.
That's cool. Now that that gun part that you painted, is that with the airbrush?
No, that was actually I painted that like a year ago before I even got the airbrush. Yeah. That's okay. I joke, I say I retired it now because I beat the crap out of it, and I would like to repaint it, but I don't know, I'm kind of like, I get too attached to things, so like I don't want to repaint it. Yeah. So I just like put it up on a shelf and
Yeah, that's cool, man. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's when I start, so that's way better than the paint stuff I do. So what I just do like one base color on a certain area of a gun, and then put our logo sticker on there, paint over it with whatever, the gun color, and then peel it off, and that way it's, it shows through.
Yeah.
So it's not really like a custom painted gun. It's just has our logo on it. That's it.
Well, this upper, I did that with this one. I don't know if, let me see if I can get in there. The clouds in it and stuff.
Oh, okay.
I did that with the stencils like you're talking about, but then I kind of went back over it and like sponged some black onto it to make it look like all worn and stuff.
Yeah. That looks cool.
Yeah, I've done that kind of stuff too. I'm not super great with the stencils. I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
I'm better with things that I can just like blend myself.
Okay. Now, is that where Nebula came from? The name is because you guys you like the Galaxy stuff?
No, it's actually completely unrelated, ironically. So originally it was 4 of us. It was me, Mama Yaga, Beans, and Masher. And we were trying to come up with a name because at that point we had decided, we're like, hey, we're going to compete. Like, we got to come up with a name. We got to like do all the like basic things to be able to compete. And Beans had the idea, he wanted all of our call signs to be related to the team name. So he's like, well, what if we're like the zoo and all of our call signs are animals? And I'm like, he's like, well, I this guy really wants to be bear. And I'm like, okay, well, hold on. I was like, what about Nebula? Because like there's like hundreds of different nebulas, one of them being the Bear Nebula. And then,
what is that?
It's so like, do you know what a nebula is?
No, I don't.
So a nebula is like a cluster of stardust, and it's like when you see the pictures of like crazy like shapes in space that are all purple and orange and stuff, like more than likely those are nebulas.
Oh, okay.
And they name all of them. Every time they find a new one, they name it.
Oh shit.
And so I was like, yeah, why don't we do that? And then, we were like, yeah, that's awesome. We stuck to Nebula, made the channel and everything, and then immediately just abandoned the name or the idea that we all had to be related to nebulas. And it was like, there was no point in doing that anyway,
Yeah.
but we kind of rolled with it.
Okay. I mean, that's cool though. Yeah, I love to hear how stuff like that comes up.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, it had a reason to it, but we just kind of forgot about the reason, so it's just now it's just our name.
Right. Yeah, that's cool though. Hell yeah. And then you have the T1 hat on. Is that one of your guys' sponsors?
Yes, T1. It's Take One Airsoft.
Yeah.
He specializes in pistol parts, which is obviously close to my heart. He does. He's really big on AAP. He's pushing the AAP a lot right now, which I right about the same time that he started getting parts in. I bought one and really, really loved the platform. So he and I have been kind of really I'm like, hey, did you see this new stuff coming out? And he's like, hey, I got this new stuff coming in. And we I mean, I have what started off as I'm just going to paint the upper, and I was like, I'm just going to paint the upper and then I'll leave the rest alone, just do internals, make it perform, is now there's not a piece on this that's stock anymore. Other than the rails.
Oh, it looks cool, man.
Yeah, and this stuff's from Cabby Customs. They're distributor of AAP parts in the States.
Okay.
And they make some really, really good stuff. They sent me this out to just kind of run it, see how it worked, and I pulled it out of the package, and I was really impressed with it. There's it's CNC, and
all that red stuff in there. That's the stuff you put in.
Well, the gray is actually, this whole upper is all it's all CNC, the whole thing.
Oh, shit.
Because I have a stock one right here. It's that black polymer, but this whole thing is all CNC.
Oh, wow.
And
so you got the whole thing together.
Yeah, I got it all in parts. I built it myself.
Oh, okay. Dude, that looks cool. That charging handle grip or whatever, is really nice. I like those.
Yeah. I had a Narcos one, and these ones are a lot lighter.
Okay.
And it does have an external selector switch, which is cool because you don't have to pull the bolt out to change the firing mode. But,
shit. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, while I was messing with it, I dropped the ball bearing, so I put it back to stock until I can get a new ball.
I gotcha. Yeah, we the first one we tested, one of the guys from that's been on a couple videos, one of our viewers, he's been here, and he messaged us, was like, hey, I got the new AAP01. It was the first, less than a month, it came out, and he's like, you guys want to do a review on it? So he brings it over, or no, he actually brought it to my work because he couldn't be there on the day we were going to film it, or he couldn't be here. So I was working in a city where it was close to him, so he dropped it off to me. So I brought it home. And he had messaged me and said there was an issue with those first editions, whatever, with the something on the inside with the trigger thing, with
the hammer
break. Yeah, the hammer.
Yeah.
Well, it fucking broke when we used it. So we did. I didn't tell my boys that. I forgot to tell them hey, there's something wrong with it, or or could be something wrong with it. So they were they were doing some burst fire, and then all of a sudden it just stuck, and it just kept firing, and we were like, what happened? Try it again. And I put on this in the video, and I was like, Todd, man, I'm so sorry we broke your gun. It's like, well, that's the thing I told you about. I said, oh yeah, okay. But anyway, it was...
Mine actually lasted for a while because I've been using it in practice and competitively and stuff for probably 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
And I was like, I like put it through the ringer, and we were at a tournament 2 weeks ago, and the very first match it gave out on me.
Oh shit.
And I was like, I didn't want to change it because like there was nothing wrong with it. And then like, of course, like very first match of the day, I'm like all excited to run all these brand new like cabbie parts and stuff and get some footage with the new look of the gun and everything. And then it just breaks. I got like one round of footage with it, and had
now,
to
did it
switch
break
to
while
my
you're
backup.
like on the field and you go and it what did it do? Stick on full auto and just dump the mag? Oh shit!
I kept trying to pull the trigger and it would just go. Brr, brr.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Okay. Yeah, that's funny, man. Yeah, that new one looks or with those different colors and stuff, it looks really cool. I like.
Yeah, they have a ton of different colors coming out. I'm a sucker for like building things. So like as soon as they announced that they were like getting all these colors, like they got purple, blue, rainbow, silver, like you name it. And I saw that and I was like, yep, I'm building some more AAPs.
Heck yeah. And now what's the purple one behind you? Is that a high kappa?
Yeah, this is my high kappa. Again, love my purple.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one was a little more expensive than I had anticipated. This
I'm sure.
When Speed QB first announced these slides, they looked really cool. I wanted them. I wanted one, and it was on pre-order. So I got it, and I was like, it gives me a couple months. I'll get a gun, get a mag well, and that'll be it. And then in the time that came out, this like barrel, let me turn this light on, see if I can get the like color shift. So the barrel actually like color changes.
Oh, yep.
And
oh, that's cool.
9-Ball came out with that, like all these parts that were like purple that like color shifted to blue, and I was like, man, I need those too now. And so like what started is like, I'm gonna keep this as simple as possible, is now like,
yeah, by
the time the slide actually came in, it's got like a completely unnecessary aftermarket hammer, like grip screws.
Now what's on the grip? It looks really cool. Let's see.
It's just a grip wrap. They got kind of popular with it's just an anime character from the show Naruto.
Nice.
And the like whole like grip wrap thing got kind of popular, and so I actually have another one to explain it better how I did it. So what I do is
you put that on there?
What? Yeah.
You put it, oh no. Dang,
yeah,
nice.
I designed it and printed it and cut it, and what I do is I like wrap it in like masking tape. This is actually the lower for my AAP. I just put this one on it because this one is covered in green masking tape. Yeah. But yeah, I like wrap it in masking tape, and then I take like a razor blade and cut it into the shape that I want. And then I'll take a photo of it, put it in Photoshop, clean it up, like make the lines smoother and everything. And then I'll like put the art in it and run it through my vinyl cutter. And that's how I get the like shape of it out.
Oh my God. Damn, dude. That's fucking cool. Okay.
Yeah. And it's, like I said, I have an issue with like changing and like building things that kind of keeps it at bay. Like I think I'm going to be changing this one soon. And like, the couple bucks that it'll take me to, for a sheet of sticker paper is way cheaper than, like building a whole new gun.
Right. Yeah. Or even buying those, cause I've seen those things you can buy to put on the, like the heat shrink kind of, sticker stuff, whatever. Yeah, that looks amazing. You printed that out yourself and put it on there. Yep. Okay. Now, when you put it on, does it do you have to put like a coating over it, like clear coat or anything, or stick really well? So what I normally do is this is actually 2 layers. It's the printed layer and then a clear layer. So like I can like rub this all I want and it's not going to fade or like wear out unless I would literally wear through the clear vinyl. Gotcha. Huh.
which
That's
I
wild.
change them way too often to even have to worry about that. So
Yeah, that's so cool that you can do it on your own though. I know a couple people that have their own sticker cutters or vinyl
mhm.
cutters, whatever they're called. And yeah, I've seen them in, in action. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, I have another one, a pink one that I just did the thing, but I have it. It's actually I just sent it away like 2 days ago. It's getting laser engraved. I went all in on that one because that one's getting like permanent laser engraved. So I think I might
Uh,
change the look of the grip a little bit, but I think it's kind of stuck with the general theme now
uh-huh.
because
Yeah,
everything on it is about to be like permanently engraved.
exactly. Oh, that's cool though. Yeah, I had no clue you were. I guess because when I look at your like Instagram,
Hmm.
I didn't really know, you know, that you did your own custom work. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's that's really what kind of made me like dive headfirst into airsoft because I had played paintball previously, and then when I got older and it got too expensive, I stopped. And my one of my friends was like, "Let's play airsoft," and immediately I was like, "Okay." I loved paintball. Like ammunition for an airsoft gun is way cheaper.
Right.
Like you don't need to because back then I still ran CO2. Like I didn't have to fill up on CO2. Like I could just charge the battery and I was good to go.
Right.
And so we got that, and what really like made me like I said, like fall down the rabbit hole was just constantly being able to change things, like
Mm.
constantly being able to like customize and work on things, and even if it's not like actual uh like if I'm not changing how the gun works, just being able to like change a sticker on it and completely
Hmm.
change the look of the gun is like, I mean, like I said, satisfies my like need to
Right.
constantly change things a little bit.
Exactly. Well, that's definitely one thing that paintball was missing back when I played is the variety. Like there
Hmm.
was, most of us had Tippmann 98s or a Spider or something, and then,
Yep.
uh, you know, if you did play speedball, it was, the colorful jerseys were just starting to come out, in the
Hmm.
mid 90s. But most of us just wore regular, whatever, jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And so there wasn't a whole lot of, and nobody like dressed up,
Hmm.
like the cosplay, the role play. There was no game types that were like that. It was just straight on, and it was fun for the, 5, 6 years that I played it. But I mean, there was no variety. Like you stuck with the same gun, and then you couldn't change BB weights, ball weights, like
Yeah.
all that, everything's the same. You just fill up your tank, get another box of balls or whatever, and
Yep. Just
well,
go do
you
it.
know, you used to be able to take your own all your own ammo to the
Hmm.
field, and then people started using frozen paint and shit like that. They ruined it for everybody, and then we had to buy paint at the field, which was
Yep.
overpriced.
Of
So,
course.
so but yeah, the airsoft thing, man, was like, and I had no clue about airsoft until like 3 years ago. So,
Yeah.
when I started getting into it, and of course, now that I've talked with so many people in the last 6, 8 months,
Hmm.
and seeing all this different variety and between milsim, game types and events and speed QB and mil sims and indoor outdoor and all these different loadouts and all these different kinds of guns and all your custom painted stuff. And then I talked to Rogue Customs and he's like, yeah, man, I make these masks. I'm like, holy shit, dude, I mean, it's like branched out so far. It's
Yeah.
such a broad thing just for airsoft. It's like we didn't have that in paintball. It's been pretty cool to find out all these different things about it.
Yeah. And I like, I'm not even like, I like, I'm not even just focused on like the speed soft side of it. Like I go, I, I go all out on all of it. Like I got my helmet here that I hardly like, I play a lot more indoor than I do outdoor just
Yeah.
because we're constantly like practicing and getting ready for tournaments and stuff like that. But like I got this, I got a Viper hood that I did all up and everything else. And,
Oh, cool.
you know, I can't just like Mama Yaga, she'll throw on some leggings and a tank top and throw her mask on and go out. And I'm like, no, fully into it. Like whatever I do, I'm all in.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we're going, hey, we're not doing this. I wore that last time. I'm going to wear something different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I can't just throw on a t-shirt and go. I got to be boom.
Hell yeah. That's cool, man. Well, I got to tell you, man, it's, you know, talking with all these different people and seeing all their different outfits and, you know, gear and setups and get-ups and all the different things they take to the field and everything and wear on the field. And 3D print, you know, the parts of their guns and stuff. You know, the girl I talked to in, damn, I can't remember what Belgium or something like that. Anyway, somewhere, well, I thought was cold, but she 3D prints like a bunch of stuff, and she does, she made everything on her M4. And everything that she printed has a little heart cut out, like an actual cutout, like all the way through. In the stock or whatever, it's Senity. It's her name.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know who you're talking about. Once you said that it had hearts in it and stuff, I follow her on Instagram.
Yeah, dude. She was really fun to talk to. I asked her about that. I was like, "Did you make all those parts?" She's like, "Yeah, I like pink everything, and I like to put hearts and everything." I said, "Oh man, that's so cool." But anyway, finding all this stuff out. It's gotten me really interested into airsoft itself. I didn't give a shit about airsoft when I first started the channel. I'm not kidding. So it was just a means for me to just for me to have something to do. So it was whatever, but now I'm talking to all these people and I see all these different things, you know, all this variety and all the different kind of people that are attracted to airsoft. I think because it's so diverse, you know, the sport itself, there's so many different things, just all that mix and match, all kind of shit. Like if you want to be gung-ho, like hardcore military, you know, police style, with all the exact shit you can get, you know, like in the military stuff, you know, and tactics and all that, you have a venue to do that. You know, all these different mil sims that offer that kind of gameplay. If you want to be the, you know, fast paced, short field, you know, cool looking jerseys like you have there, you know, come up with a team name and all your galaxy stuff, you know, like all these different colors, then you have a venue for that as well. It's been really cool for me to see as an outsider, you know, not being an airsofter, you know, kind of seeing all these different parts of it.
Yeah, that's, I mean, like I have friends even who are like, he has thousands and thousands into like genuine, like Russian gear. Like, you know, mine's a plastic helmet made by PTS, but like his is like a genuine ballistic helmet. Like all of his camo is like actually from Russia and everything else. And, you know, he's got thousands into his AK because all of the furniture is like real steel, like real AK stuff. But then he'll also throw on a dye mask and go compete.
I love it, man. That's so cool. Yeah. Yeah. You can, I mean, it's a thing where you could never get bored, you know?
Yeah.
You could just change it up anytime you want, change whatever. And, you know, now of course, if you're a speed QB player and you go play a mil sim, you know, everyone's going to be like, "What are you doing in here? You're speed QB," you know. I don't think that really happens. I don't know personally, but I'm guessing most of that is the drama that's online. It's mostly online talk, not not in person, but I don't know.
At least in my experience, it is a lot of just, it's just online, like you said. People will argue like, "Oh, get that purple gun out of here." And like, actually, I'm an Amped sponsored player from Amped Airsoft. And I'll bring in my like high kappa builds and my like grip, they're like tank grip guns and everything. And they like look at them and they're like, "Oh wow, like this is really well made. Like it's super light. I hate it." And, it's like friendly banter there, but there are like people online, like you said, that just take it way too seriously. It's like,
Yeah.
Look, I don't care if you're wearing purple or you're wearing like genuine Russian gear. Like you're still just dressing up to play a game.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the point. That is, no matter which one you're doing. And like I
Exactly.
said too, and when I first started hearing about that, like the friendly kind of, back and forth, whatever. I mean, most things have that, whether you're, when you're in school, like high school or something, football players make fun of tennis players, make fun of
Hmm.
swimmers, whatever. Everybody makes fun of lacrosse players, okay? And then, or whatever, or soccer.
Yeah, yeah.
And we always have that. Military, we all make fun of each other, whatever. But, I never knew it was like this, an actual thing till I started seeing all these memes. And I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, is it like people really, like, why would they even have to talk about it? Because it's not like what I've seen anyway. It's not like Milsim players are going to a speed QB field and trying to convert everybody to, you know what I mean? It's not like they're
Hmm.
trying to overtake the field and be like, hey, make this into a Milsim, this is bullshit. And vice versa. The speed QB players aren't going to, running through the woods with, your high kappa and your painted mask and your
Well, it does happen.
let me knee slide behind this, uh, and but there's a venue for each of
Hmm.
those groups, or all of those groups, however they want to play, So yeah, I
Yeah.
don't see the need for, but I think it's mostly fun.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's all. I mean, if it were up to me, like I look at it as like I don't like I said, I don't care how you play. Like
Right.
we're all playing the sport, and like airsoft's. I think it's growing rapidly, but I think it's
Hmm.
still like too small of an industry to like really divide it up like that.
Right.
Like there's so much like innovation happening in the sport right now that
Hmm.
benefits both sides that I like it doesn't matter because those guys that have their like thousands of dollars into their AKs and stuff
Right.
and my gun that looks like a paintball gun internally they're exactly the same. They're
Right.
shooting the same BBs, they're running the same engines, they just look different for a different purpose.
Right. Yeah, that's cool though. Yeah, I like the diversity from what I've seen so far.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. And then, you got different companies that specialize in different things.
Yeah.
When I first started talking with people on here, it was I've changed my mind. I guess talking with all these different people has changed my mind on a lot of different areas in airsoft because I
Mhm.
didn't know. I was ignorant to a lot of things in airsoft. I just had these assumptions like, why would you even need a sight? Whatever. This is one topic I was always, like, you don't need an optic on top of your airsoft gun. What the fuck? Like the wind blows just a tiny bit, the BB goes everywhere. Like, when you're playing outdoors and stuff. So, and then I talked with somebody, this couple in Missouri, that's like, no, you can sight this thing in like,
Mhm.
at least to like 100 feet, whatever. It's super accurate. And I'm like, oh, okay. Cause my experience was most of the guns we got, were from mystery boxes.
Okay.
So we got a lot of, that was really what our channel started out to be, was the, the unboxings or whatever. So
Mhm.
we'd get the, EVIC BOAs, and some of those guns in the BOAs are like returned or, already open kind of things or whatever. They're not brand new, which
Yeah.
is fine. So I didn't really know that you could get such high level guns in airsoft that were really, really accurate. And then I started seeing some of the speed QB players with the, $2,000 high kappas, that these
Yeah.
things are super accurate and super consistent. And I'm going, holy shit. Okay. So anyway, I've gone through a lot of transitions, I guess, with, changing my mind as
Mhm.
I talk with people, and learn new things about it. So it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean my outdoor gun is it's actually spare parts. I literally went to my bin and like pulled a couple receivers out and a handguard and everything else, and built something I could use for outdoors. And I have a NC Star 0 dot on it that'll go 1 to 6 times zoom, and I run 4 O's outdoors, and it'll shoot far enough that I lose sight of the BB.
Holy shit!
With like a 6 times zoom.
Oh damn! Okay. Yeah, see, we never had anything like that in these mystery boxes. We're like, ours is 120 feet or whatever at the most, and it's still kind of just
Yeah, and I mean, like, that gun, when it was built up, like, that was like that. I wouldn't take that outdoors because it's not built for that. It was built to like with HPA, you can kind of like tune the engines to be like right down the center, or you can build them for range, or you can build them for like just rapid fire. And like obviously for like a competitive gun, you want to be able to shoot as fast as possible. And you want to find that like threshold where you're still getting your range to where you need it, but that it will for sure keep up with as fast as you're shooting, Yeah. But my outdoor gun is built 100% for range. Like, I really don't have any reason I need to shoot crazy fast with it.
Right. Okay. So when you go to play outdoor, you run like that rifle, and then you run like a sidearm. You carry the whole setup and the whole gear, chest rig or plate carrier and all that kind of stuff?
I'm not super crazy about it. I normally just wear a chest rig with like a couple mags in it, and then I have a backpack to hold my tank.
Okay.
And I tried carrying a sidearm, but I realized after a while that it was just extra weight because I never really pulled it out ever.
Right. Yeah. You're not gonna. It's like 1 in 100 times or chance or whatever that you're gonna need to switch to it. Because that's what I've seen too. Is a lot of the outdoor stuff. You're not really engaging that close with people.
Yeah, and that's like when I I spend most of my time competing and like playing in like such close quarters that when I go outside, it's like I take it easy, I try to get those long shots and those like clips like that, and so I probably would need a sidearm if I played it like I do competitive airsoft, but I don't. So
yeah. Well, it's kind of cool though. You can do the kind of the extreme on both ends, like the the fast pace, the close indoor stuff, and then the when you go outside, you're doing the long range. It's a nice because I guess like in video games, when you play Call of Duty, it's like fast, Halo, and then some of these games where if you switch over to, like, I play Division 2, and there's certain maps where I'll change my loadout because it's a longer map. You can get a lot of spots where you can snipe, and I'm not really good at sniping in games, but actually I'm not good at anything in games. Okay, I still have fun doing it, but there's sometimes I'm like, I don't want to run and gun in this map. I want to hang back and snipe. Just kind of change it up. But that's cool. You have the equipment to do either or.
Yeah, and I mean, it has a lot to do with also like indoor and like SpeedQB and stuff is like always on polished, like smooth concrete, and outdoors there's like a lot more uneven territory, and I have an issue with my hip that I got to get surgery here soon.
Oh shit.
And so like running on like that very uneven like ground and stuff, like it wears me out really fast. So I try to like I know now at this point I'm like, all right, like I can go really hard for this first game but be junk the whole rest of the day, or I could just pace myself and play a lot longer.
Yeah. So what did you do to your hip? Is that from an injury or?
No, it's I'm gonna try to make a long story short here, but
take your time.
I know Mama Yaga talked about it a little bit, but a couple years ago I had cancer, and from because of the type of cancer that I had, it messed with the blood flow in my my femur, which caused my femur to actually corrode from the inside and basically like shrivel up and die. And eventually that like ball that goes into my hip just like collapsed.
Oh my God.
So my hip will actually constantly just pop in and out of socket. Ooh. And causes like a ton of inflammation.
Yeah.
So like if I'm, like I said, if I'm like running around on uneven ground and stuff, it gets like really sore. But I'm getting it fixed here soon.
Okay. Well, yeah. Speaking of the of that, I remember her talking about that, and because obviously it was a big part of your guys' lives and your the story of including airsoft. But how were you already playing airsoft when all this happened? Like what was your, how did you come into?
So I kind of I played like here and there, like backyard stuff, and we went to like a bigger, like, I don't want to call it a milsim, but it was like more milsim like skirmish. It was like an all-day event. But it wasn't like a true like milsim. Right. And but other than that, like we kind of played, like there weren't really any fields back where I lived then, so we would just like rent out paintball places, and we'd have to get a big enough group together to be able to rent out the whole place for the day, because obviously we couldn't take our airsoft guns in to play against like paintballers. Right. And so it was more just kind of like a casual thing that we did every couple of months. But then once I don't think I was quite in remission yet. I was like done with treatment, but I had to wait like a couple months before they could actually test me, because my body was so full of radiation that it messed with the tests. So they we moved out to Pittsburgh, and out here there's a lot more like accessibility to it. So and of course, as soon as I was finishing up like my treatment and stuff, like my immune system got really, really poor, and the doctor was like, look, it's in your best interest to not go out and do things, which is why the like airsoft worked so well, because it was just like 10 of my like close friends that I trusted, and I knew like if they were sick, they were going to tell me. They knew what was going on. And so it like worked so well. And then when we moved out to Pittsburgh, and the doctor was like, everything's looking good, go ahead. COVID hit. So we couldn't really go out and do anything. So we just kept playing airsoft. And when we moved out to Pittsburgh was when it like really became a big part of our lives, because we moved out here. We had like no one we really knew, and the first day we played out here, we met Beans and Masher, and then we were like, hey, like the only thing that we know of that we have in common at this point is airsoft, so would you like to go play airsoft? And so we played a whole lot of airsoft, and then from that we became like much closer friends, and we know like a ton of other things that we have in common, and then like our life isn't just airsoft at this point, but at that point we were already too in too deep. We're in it for the long haul now.
Right. Yeah, man. What a crazy wild ride, I guess, last few years, that's the emotional, whatever. Did you guys have, when you found out that you were sick, did you have, were you guys in close proximity to like your family, her family? Did you have a good support group, I guess, of family or friends around?
Yeah. So, when we found out, I was living back in like where her and I both like went to high school and stuff. Like we had a lot of family, and, we were living on our own. We had just had our son, and we had found out, and our lease was actually like running out. So my parents had suggested, they're like, hey, you know, like this is probably going to be a pretty like financially hard time. Like, do you want to like let your lease run out, move in with us to save yourself that money? Right. And like, so we did, and I'm glad we did, because not only the like financial hardship of it, like it helped a lot with like my mom would watch my son while we went to treatments and things like that. It just made it all a lot easier to get through.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, and like I don't know if any of them will listen to this, because not a whole lot of people back there like pay attention to airsoft or anything, but like the community as a whole, like I can't thank them enough. Like they really, really came together and helped us in our time of need. Like they threw basket parties, gun raffles, all kinds of stuff, and like that helped so much, because early on in my treatments I got well, the doctor called it viral pneumonia at that time, but it was when COVID was like really starting to blossom everywhere else, and they had been denying that it was in the States at this point. But I ended up in the hospital for like a week.
Yeah.
And
like could barely breathe and stuff?
Yeah, I could hardly breathe. I kept like getting like massive chills and like shaking like crazy, and they kept me in the hospital for like a week, and my boss was like, I don't think it's in your best interest to come back to work until you're through this. And so I was on like unemployment until I was done. So like I wasn't making nearly as much already. And like, you know, cancer is not a cheap thing to go through. And so like the whole like community just like coming in and helping out, like it was huge. And I cannot thank any of them enough for helping us out when we needed it.
Well, absolutely, man. That's you know, this is a great venue for that. This is, you know, what a big part of what I want our, you know, these podcasts to be about is, you know, saying thank you, you know, to somebody, or to, you know, promote somebody's channel, which is in a way saying thank you for what you're doing, you know, or whatever. So yeah, man, for sure. So, yeah, whoever helped Dylin through this time, thank you from us as well. I appreciate, you know, because I can appreciate, you know, support system with family and friends. You know, it's nobody is going to go through some hardships by themselves and come out this. You know, it's way better when you have some people that can help, because we're not, you're not going to be 100% positive 100% of the time. It just ain't gonna fucking happen. Like you're gonna have days where you're just beat down emotionally and mentally. Like you literally cannot like fight on your own. You know, you just like deflated and whatever. And yeah, man. And that's when you need, you know, something or someone else to lean on, you know. So that's good that you had that.
Yeah, it was trying, but I was I don't know, I'm kind of like, so it got me in trouble while my wife was in labor, but like when I'm in like an uncomfortable situation, I like make jokes of everything.
Gotcha.
And yeah, like I said, got me in trouble during the birth of our son, but I would make jokes on Facebook, like people would be like, "Hey, are you doing okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, you know, I'm good." Like, you know, other than the cancer, but you know, I'm all right. And then at one point, there was like a big trend going around Facebook at the time, like show yourself like now compared to like the celebrity that you look alike. And I put like a picture of me, like no eyebrows, no hair or anything, next to Caillou from like the kids show.
Shit. Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Oh my God, Dylin, like you need to chill out. You can't be saying stuff like that." I'm like, "Why? It's happening to me." Like,
yeah. Well, I think people, you know, when you're the one going through it, they feel helpless, and they,
Hmm.
you know, people that know you and care about you, and when you make jokes like that, it makes them really uncomfortable. It really
Hmm.
does. You know, and I I would laugh, okay, if I saw your
Hmm.
jokes. I can still feel for you and feel bad and you know, sympathetic, whatever, and still laugh at your jokes.
Hmm.
But it's like a dark, you know, kind of
Yeah.
like a dark sense of humor, which, you know, most guys in the military or come out of the military have anyway. So yeah, I remember when I was going through, you know, being paralyzed and stuff, and
Hmm.
I couldn't get out of the bathtub, uh, and you know, my wife's trying, you know, no one was here. It was just me and her. Two of my sons still lived here, but they weren't home yet from work.
Hmm.
So she's trying to pull me out of the tub. I'm like, just get me out of the tub, you know, and I'll kind of slide out and like onto the floor and I can kind of crawl on my elbows. So she's struggling, man. It's like she's pulling, and I'm all, you know, I just got a shower. Like she had the shower on me, you know, I was just kind of laying in there like this. And, so she's slipping, you know, and she slips
Yeah.
and falls back, and it's like she starts crying and you know, kind of getting upset, whatever. And I finally get out on the floor, and I was like, all right, you know, it's like took both of us all of our strength to get me to, you know, 2 feet,
Hmm.
and she's just like leaning on the sink with this panicked look on her face, like, oh my God, what? Like, because this was fairly new, you know, this
Yeah.
thing. So she's like, is this what it's gonna be, you know? And I'm like, don't worry, honey, I'll be on a respirator tomorrow, it'll be fine. And you know, so I make jokes as well. She starts bawling, don't say that, you know. So, and I was laughing, I was just like, you know, I what else can I do? I can't change it, I can't control it, I don't know,
Hmm.
you know. So now I did have times where I cried.
Hmm.
And then I did have times, you know, out of sadness and feeling sorry for myself and anger,
I'd be
you know,
concerned if you hadn't.
for sure, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so yeah, when you have a good support system, man, it's so valuable, so valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, no, I know for sure. Like, I, I mean, there were a lot of nights where I was like not doing well, like
Mm.
mentally, like, I mean, physically. I would come home from treatments and like literally sleep for like 3 days. Like I was just so
Wow.
worn out,
Yeah.
and but like my family knew, like, I think like a lot of the reason why I would make so many jokes and stuff is because like I hated pity.
Mm.
So like
Same. Hmm.
when people would like try to like, "Oh, are you okay?" Like I'm like,
Yeah.
"Stop. Like don't,
Yep.
like if you want to talk, like talk to me, but don't talk to me like that." And so like my family knew that. And so like they'd give me my time, like let me, pass out on the couch for 3 days, but then like when I was up and moving, it was another day, you know, another
Yeah.
day, and they would just move on from it and be like ready to go.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I think you know, I had the same feeling. I think that was, you know, I never really thought about it until later, but during the time, because I'd never been in that position before in my whole life. I was always
Hmm.
healthy and, you know, whatever. And you know, I had broken bones and stuff before, or broke my ankle, you know, sprained ankle or whatever, you know, and I'd be laid up or something like that. But I could still move around, you know, I can still
Yeah.
do things, you know, mostly. So but with this, that was one of my biggest fears. I guess it was a fear or whatever. I just like, don't feel sorry for me. Do not feel sorry for me. Like, just don't talk to me like that. You know, my kids, because they care about, you know, I mean,
Hmm.
and especially my youngest daughter, she would say, "Hey, how you doing today?" I'm like, if you say it like that again, you're in trouble. You know, like,
Yeah.
like talk normal. You know,
Yeah.
I was just, I don't know what it was, but I couldn't stand it either. I just didn't even want to, like, I don't want help. I don't want pity. Uh, and, you know, of course I appreciated it for sure.
Hmm.
The help, you know, the
Yeah.
emotional support and all that kind of stuff, and physical, obviously, you know, getting around. But yeah, it's a hard thing to sit there, and when you're independent, most of us are. Nobody likes being laid up where they have to be waited on.
Hmm.
It's not a good feeling.
Yeah, it's like it's such a like mental battle already that you don't want like people reminding you like, hey, you're going through a really hard time. Like, yeah, I know.
Mm,
Like,
right.
I'm fully aware of that. Thank you for the reminder. But I would love to just like, can we
Yep.
like I can't change this situation right now. So, let's get back to like what we were doing.
Right. Like, oh, hey, how you doing today? The same as I was yesterday. Hey, I'm good. And by the way, what, like just
Yeah.
change the, let's, okay. Yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. Okay. I'm here. So move on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
So
I get it for sure.
I saw on your, I think I saw on your Instagram, maybe your story or something.
Hmm.
And I think Mama Yaga talked about it as well. You used to be in a rock band.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. How did that happen?
Uh I mean, I've always loved music. I've oh my God, I can't even tell you how I like got into like singing and playing guitar because I literally don't remember. It's been that
Yeah.
long. But when I got into like high school, uh no, actually before that, me and my brother, I played guitar, he played bass, and we would just kind of like play around in the basement and stuff. So then when I got into high school, I met some other people that had similar music tastes, played instruments as well. We're like, hey, we like the same kind of music. Do you want to make that kind of music? And it was me and a friend. His name's Canyon. We started playing in like just school bands, like school assemblies and things like that.
Yeah.
And then we were like, let's start a real band, like make our own music and everything. And my brother had already played bass, so I was like, hey, I got a bass player. We just needed a drummer, and we reached out to anyone we knew that played drums, and we came across our like we had auditioned a couple people. I don't really want to call it audition because it, I guess went and hung out with a couple people, and the one that we
Right.
felt like fit the best. His name was Ben, and so we started playing like covers and stuff that we were all interested in, and then we started writing our own music, and we just we met a guy named Randy Lisbon who gave us our like first like real show, and we
Okay.
went and like nobody knew who we were. We played like our songs that nobody know the words to, and from there we started playing more and more, and then we started playing like out in Pittsburgh, which was an accomplishment then, but now I live here, so but we we would play like out in Pittsburgh. We did like a couple like short tours and stuff, and then we brought on another guitarist, and there was a big like issue with him, and it kind of killed our spirits and stuff, and the band kind of died down from there. But last year we did like a reunion show,
Nice.
and it had been like 10 years since we'd played anywhere,
Holy shit.
and we announced that we were like, hey, we're getting together again one night, and we sold like 400 and some tickets to this show
Damn.
to
That's
in
good.
yeah, in like the small town of Johnstown, Pennsylvania. And then a friend of ours reached out to us recently and was like, hey, we are putting together a benefit show for all the money's going to go to a mental health organization because one of their friends had like recently committed suicide. And so he's like, I want to give back. I want to help people that may be struggling. And like obviously we couldn't say no, you know, mental health was like something that was super
Right.
important to me, especially like now, like back like in high school and stuff, like we talked about it, made jokes about it and stuff, but like
Sure.
when I went through all my like illness and everything else, and like really really messed me up mentally, like I finally went after help and like talked to a therapist, talked to a psychologist and everything else, and realized like how much that actually helps. So like when he was like, hey, we're doing something that can make these things more accessible to people, I was like, yeah, we're absolutely in.
For sure. Oh, that's cool, dude. Wow, what a way to come back, though.
Yeah.
I mean, for real, like coming through all that, and then you guys have a reunion thing, and it's something, you know, that is like that kind of, you know, setup and program. What a cool way to, you know, make it back with your band.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of surreal because, like, you know, back in high school, like, we had, like, a couple hundred people coming to our shows and stuff, and it was like, yeah, we're the coolest people ever because, you know, we're high school kids. Like,
of course.
Yeah, we're high school kids, so, you know, we're the best people in the world.
Right.
But, like, coming back to it as an adult and still seeing so many people that still wanted to, like, come see us play and stuff, it was, like, a totally different experience, I guess.
Yeah.
And like how many people still remembered all the words to our songs and stuff like that. Like, I was like, wow, like
that's cool, man. Well, listen, in high school, at least, you know, when I was in high school, so you had the jocks, right? The athletes, whatever, and people kind of looked up to them, you know, and then, but man, the guys that could play instruments really well, and I'm not talking like in band, you know, but guitar, drums, bro, they were looked at like way above the athletes, at least, you know, because, you know, I grew up in the 80s, you know, 70s and 80s, so it was like 80s rock, man, like, you know, big hair bands and guitars, and then of course when you know, Rush, you know, with Neil Peart on the drums was like, holy shit, look at his drum set. I mean, it was the talk everywhere, man. Like then it was like, oh, drums are a big part of rock bands. Okay. And then, you know, of course, Metallica later on with the double bass and but anyway, that was, you know, these guys in high school, man, if you found somebody that knew how to play or had their own little band, it didn't matter how little the band was. If they were, you know, halfway decent, they were fucking cool, bro. Like super cool. So what was your guys' influence? Like what kind of music and what kind of bands were your influences?
Our like biggest influences at the time, and I'm gonna heavily date myself here for anyone that actually knows these, but our biggest influences were like All Time Low, Fall Out Boy. We played, well, that was like early on in the band. We like All Time Low, Fall Out Boy, Boys Like Girls, We the Kings, bands like that. And then later on, as like we started having like less like high school issues and more like adult issues, our music tastes kind of shifted toward bands like A Story So Far and Neck Deep, and like bands that really like, they weren't just like goofy songs about like girls and stuff. They were still about girls, but a lot more angry about it.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I went through transition when I went with high school, of course. Like I said, you know, you know, I was Van Halen and all the, you know, 70s and 80s bands, and then when I went in the Marine Corps, it was heavier and heavier and heavier stuff. Like we were, you know, oh, who's this? And then who's this? It was like this heavier music, you know. It's all, and then by the end of it, it's like all I'm listening to is just, you know, the thrash stuff, you know, bang your head kind of stuff, whatever. But now my music taste is so broad. Like you know how like on Amazon Music, whatever, you know, they'll have this, or any of these music apps you use. If you use them for a long enough time, they build this soundtrack for you, based on all the things you've listened to or liked or whatever, or disliked. mine now will go from like a gospel praise and worship song to frickin', you know, Five Finger Death Punch, to a country song, to a classical music song. Like, it's just, you know, it's all over the place.
That's mine's all over the place too. Like, I have on Spotify, they have your like one that's just like all of your music that you listen to, and then they have like the personalized ones. At any given time, I have like 10 or 11 different playlists that they suggested to me, because like my regular one will go from like All Time Low to Juice World to Mozart to like Of Mice and Men to Metallica to, and like,
oh yeah, that's crazy.
But
now you,
it just really like, I don't know, like it just depends on what I'm feeling at the time, you know.
For sure. I mean, musical is music is an emotional thing. Like, it helps kind of get, you know, whatever mood, you know, it can change your emotion, which can change your action. You know, it's like you know, I mean, obviously, you know, all these movies that come out, like I remember when I was trying to, you know, any time in my life where I was trying to come back from something, especially, you know, coming through this illness, I would watch, you know, I couldn't physically get up and do something. So, you know, to be motivated, like, oh, I need to be, you know, how everyone says, well, I'm just not motivated to work out. Well, you got to work out. Like, you got to do some action before you're motivated. You're not going to just sit there on the couch and be struck with motivation. You know, it can happen, like, oh, I get inspired. But then, you know, you're just sitting there. But so I couldn't get up and do something, but I would, just to change my mental attitude, I would watch Rocky movies, man. They had the, you know, it was just like the good music, you know, some of it. And it was just, you know, inspiring, and like wanted to get, you know, you wanted to get up and move and do something. But
yeah.
Oh yeah. So you, what I was going to ask you about your guitar. So I really don't know about brands and, you know, all that kind of stuff. I played acoustic guitar when I was young, and then, you know, not anything after. But I've heard, you know, guys that, I know it's a thing. Do you have like a favorite guitar, or a brand, or certain style that you like? And is it custom painted like you have all your other stuff custom painted?
So funny enough, my favorite guitar is custom painted. It's bright yellow.
Nice.
And it's so it looks like a Gibson SG is like the style of it, but it's from a brand called Xavier, because I didn't really have the money for the genuine Gibson, and at the time Xavier was doing some like really good stuff, so I was like, you know, I'll give it a shot, and I grabbed one, and I have loved it ever since. And then my Mama Yaga bought me a Takamine acoustic guitar, and I love that thing to death. Like, it's one of the nicest guitars I've ever played. And typically, like, acoustic guitars, so like electric guitars are easier to make easy to play, whereas like acoustic guitars are like the same principle, but you tend to spend a little bit more for something that's gonna, like, in order to play well, because actually I don't know why. I don't know the mechanics of guitars.
The sound is so much different.
Yeah, and like that Takamine just, I mean, she got it at like a perfect time in my, like, I don't want to say career, but like my like music playing, because I was starting to like really get into acoustic, and like she got it for me, and it like played perfect. It sounded great, and I was like, I love this thing. And that's probably my main guitar right now. Like all my electric ones, I don't even have an amp in the house right now. Like, I just play acoustic.
Oh shit. Okay. Nice. Well, I started out on acoustic, and I had just a hand-me-down from somebody at our church. I was like 12 years old, and it was it was cheap, I guess. I don't know. I didn't know the difference, but it was just something to start out. It was all nylon string,
Hmm.
which I didn't know that there was a difference. And
Yeah.
then when I started using that a lot, then my buddy, the guy that gave it to me to use, he played in the church band. He had, a really nice one. And
Hmm.
so he would come over and teach me. He would play something on his steel string and really nice acoustic guitar. And I'd play it on mine, and I'm going, I mean, this sounds like one of those little recorders, in school,
Yeah.
like compared to something that's a high grade, whatever. But
Yeah, they're
it
very
was,
like twangy sounding.
it is. I was like, how do I tune this thing? These nylon strings don't sound right. And then he was like, well, here, you've been practicing, you can try mine.
Hmm.
And the steel strings, dude, I thought my fingers were going to be cut. Like I thought I was going to be bleeding. It was hurting so bad. It took me a while to get calluses because I
Hmm.
didn't practice every day. It was,
Yeah.
probably once a week. So every time I'd go back to that steel string, I'm like, dude, I eventually did. I eventually did. And I still
It's,
remember a lot of those chords now if because I did them so many times.
hmm.
But all the basic ones that learn when you first start out.
Yeah.
But I never learned any songs like a lot of my buddies did.
Yeah.
Smoke on the Water was a
Oh,
big one.
everyone knows that one.
Hmm. Except me. Hell yeah.
Well, I mean,
So
at
what?
least everyone when I was learning to play did. Now I
Yeah,
don't know what they're playing now.
I know, right? Yeah, that was all my buddies learned it. And of course, Van Halen was big. When you said you had a bright yellow guitar, it made
Hmm.
me think of there was a time where Eddie Van Halen had he had the yellow with the black stripes on it, whatever.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hell yeah. Do you have a favorite guitarist,
Uh,
like from a major band over history?
I can't really say that I do.
Yeah,
Um, I, I mean, when it comes to music, it's so hard for me to pick favorites.
yeah.
Like, I don't have a favorite band. I don't have a favorite vocalist. I don't even have a favorite genre. So like, it's so hard for me to pick. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, the I can say that the dudes in Real Friends were the coolest people I've ever hung out with. But as far as like favorite guitarists and stuff, not really. Like,
Okay. Yeah, when we were learning, it was, in the 80s, it was Joe Satriani, of course Eddie Van Halen and
hmm.
uh, you know, all the older ones as well
Hmm.
from the 60s.
Yeah, we don't really have like those iconic musicians like
Uh-uh.
in like my time. Like I think like the closest that we would really have to like a like huge stardom like musician is kind of like Ed Sheeran kind of comes to mind
Hmm.
because he's pretty well known for like being like a one man band,
Yeah.
but like there are so many talented musicians nowadays that like how I can't
I
really
know.
pick
I,
one, you know?
I feel the same. Yeah, it
Like
is difficult.
yeah, like there's a difference between me saying like, this person is probably the most talented and saying like, well, this person's probably my favorite because
Hmm.
talent doesn't necessarily mean preference.
Right. Yeah, I agree. So what's big or what's the next big thing for you guys? Are you guys for your band? Are you guys planning on another do you have something planned coming up?
Uh, we have that benefit show that I had mentioned on September 9th in Johnstown. It's called the Dare to Care Fest.
Nice.
Um, and then we really don't have anything planned other than that. We've been talking for like a year about releasing new music, and we've like put a little bit of effort into it, but we haven't really like made anything out of it. But yeah, I mean No,
Okay.
no real future plans for it.
Well, if somebody wanted to check out your other music and also find out about this Dare to Care, where do they go to find your other music you used to play? Do you have somewhere online that somebody could listen to or watch
Yeah,
or
we're still on Spotify and YouTube Music
nice?
and everything like that. The band was
All
called A
right.
Faster Ride, or I guess is called A Faster Ride.
Okay.
And the Dare to Care Fest, there's an event on Facebook. Um, I think really that's the only place that you can get all the information.
Okay.
Um, yeah, just Dare to Care Fest. Believe it's Dare to Care Fest 2022 is the name of the event.
Gotcha. Okay. And then how about for Airsoft? What do you have coming up that you're excited about? Do you have any tournaments that you guys are doing or?
Uh, Now have a lot more planned for that. Like I said, I'm having surgery soon,
Right.
so I will be down until we have we're going up to Extreme Airsoft for the EA Fest.
Mm,
We'll be there most of the weekend. Then we are hosting a benefit, like a charity event for Mission 22, which
oh yeah, I know that.
I'm sure you know who it is, but like it's a charity that kind of focuses on prevention of veteran suicide.
Hmm.
So we have a huge raffle. Tons of people were throwing in stuff. PTS, Amped Airsoft threw in a couple guns. There's Red Arrow Milsim threw in a bunch of stuff. A bunch of like patch companies are throwing in stuff. Rogue is doing stuff for it.
Nice.
I know I'm forgetting things because there's a whole list of them, and
Yeah.
I like when I'm on the spot I can never remember
Oh, that's
any of
okay.
them. But Take
Yeah.
One is also putting in stuff.
Gotcha.
So like we said, we have like thousands of dollars of stuff that we're raffling off, and you get a ticket with your entry to play all day. Plus, we'll have other tickets available. We're trying to raise as much money as possible for Mission 22,
Awesome.
and then I'm actually going to be on crutches for that event. I
Okay.
will have already had surgery, and
Okay.
then the team is planning on going to Nashville in November, where they're going to do the tournament. I'm going to be Coach Dylin for that one,
Oh shit.
and then December is a pretty busy month, so we probably won't really do a whole lot there other than like open plays. And then January, or not January, they haven't announced a schedule yet, but 2023, the NSL is coming to the United States.
Yes.
So we are super excited for that because we've been watching it, all the live streams, keeping up with everything.
Yeah.
We have like we talked to a lot of the guys over in Europe, and like they all have nothing but awesome things to say about the league. So we're super, super excited for that to come to the States.
Good.
And we're going to absolutely hit up as many of those events as we can. And then obviously the goal is to qualify for the championship, make it to the championship. And then we're going to do as many like Speed QB events as we can. This past year we did at least like one major event every month.
Mm.
And we traveled to 8 different states, played at like as a team, played at like 11 different fields all over the country. And then there were also like a couple of us went to Missouri, a couple of us played at like Ballahack, but like I didn't
Oh,
include
nice.
that because it wasn't like the whole team,
Right.
But yeah, like we've been all over the country already. Next year we plan on trying to make it out to Amsterdam
Oh shit.
to play at Real Strike.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean,
Dude, that's awesome.
there's we've not announced anything about this yet. So this is your little exclusive thing, but
Oh shit, you're about to announce it?
oh yeah, we're dropping some new stuff.
Hey,
But
pay attention, everybody.
we will be putting out a website nebulaairsoft.com, which will have we have some merch stuff. Like this is one of our shirts that we're gonna have.
Nice.
Then there's gonna be like a page with all of like the events that we're attending, everything that we know that's coming up, like all of the NSL events will be on there, SpeedQB will be on there. If you have like benefit events, anything like that, like you can just go to the website, click on the events tab, and you can see anything, figure out if it's close to you, if it's not, if you would like to travel, when it's going to be, everything like that. And then like it's just kind of like we wanted to make something that was like there's not really like a way to just go online and find all of the events that are near you. Like, I know random guy Kev RGK is doing something similar to it, but he kind of only focuses on like huge events like MilSims or like SpeedQB. But we wanted to kind of like encompass everything because you know, not everybody can do full MilSims, not everybody can do full SpeedQB. They want to go to the like bigger events that they can just hang out.
The like the open plays or the whatever, you know, like the smaller things as well.
Yeah, not so much like just regular open plays. Like I'm not going to list every field in the country's like normal business hours, but if they're doing like a swap meet, that'll be on there. If they're doing like a benefit thing, that'll be on there, like that kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool, man. Well, so when's the website coming out?
Well, if I would finish it, it would be out. Well, it would be out already, but
oh, you're making it?
Yeah. Me and
awesome, dude.
Me and my brother, he goes by Demon. We built the website, designed all the merch and everything, and did all the media and stuff for it.
Okay.
And now I just need to like kind of take it home. Gotcha. But I just haven't gotten a chance to kind of. It's all structured already. It's just now a matter of adding all the content.
Okay. Yeah, good, man. Good for you. Yeah, that's a good. It's a great thing to do because when you know if somebody just has an Instagram or just a YouTube channel or something, it's very difficult to have where somebody can contact you or to list items. You know, like if you want to have a merch store or something like that. It's way easier just having a website to have all your shit right there. Where they can just click on a button and a different page or whatever. So awesome, man.
We don't just have like t-shirts and stuff like that. Like we're planning on like actually like releasing like practical things like work mats. Like we're gonna have like mats to throw down, work on your stuff so you don't like ding up your table or get stuff like grease and stuff all over your like wherever you're working. We're gonna have like I'll probably like make a couple like exclusive like grip wraps and stuff to go up and you can order them off the website.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, just like, things like that.
That is cool.
Like
okay.
Yeah, like it's the plan isn't just to have like, we have like headbands. But yeah, it's not just like t-shirts and stuff like.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, that's really cool. You went to 8 different states. You guys played in this past year. That's some travel. So you guys are definitely getting around, meeting people, meeting other teams, playing against other teams. Getting some experience. That's a good thing. And then I just did that podcast with Cerberus, and we talked about this national kind of ranking system, whatever, for airsoft. And you were talking about the NSL and all that kind of thing. But, which I didn't know anything about, so I'm starting to slowly learn, but yeah, hopefully you guys, working all together with, them and CSL and all this other stuff that somebody can come up with a national ranking system and kind of move a little closer to getting airsoft as a national sport where you guys have a national ranking system. And have all these teams in that, professional kind of league that can compete at that level,
Yeah. I mean, it's that whoever does it will definitely have their like challenges ahead of them because NSL, SpeedQB, and like CSL all have like wildly different, like, not play styles. It's all like obviously speed based competitive, but like their rules are very different. Like the way, like the strategies are very different. So like the top like CSL team may go to the NSL and get absolutely stomped, and vice versa. You know, like it's just like how you play, and like that's kind of, honestly, that's kind of where the like slow speed soft came from, because we had played so much speed QB. It was like bigger fields, and it's like a lot more like you play like very tactically. You like get in there and you kind of like, you have a plan to go with, but then like you got to work as a team, listen to your guys, and like work your way up the field and play it that way. And we had went and done CSL, which is a lot more like their smaller field, so there's a lot more of a like frontal attack right off the bat. And in one of the live streams that someone was recording, they actually were recording one of our matches and said, "I've never seen anything like this. It's like slow speed soft." And I was like,
shit. Oh, of course. Yeah, it had to stick. I mean, that's
I was perfect. Like, well, I mean, you know.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, you know, speaking of slow speed soft or slow QB or whatever, you know, Little Miss Airsoft has that saying, you know. By the way, if you listen to this, Little Miss, I'm still waiting on my slow QB patch that you said you would going to send to me.
I have one of her shirts. And she actually, she was the one that packed it, like when I ordered it. Because I ordered it through Full Auto, and she was the one that packed it, and she messaged me. She's like, "You bought one of my shirts." I was like, yeah, I did."
Hell yeah, nice, awesome, man. You got a packed schedule coming up. I mean, that's a good thing to have. You know, keeping yourself on the move and busy like that. Not just busy, but productive, and you know, moving forward in something you're passionate about is always good for mind and body. You know, it's a good thing. And you got your wife with you, and you guys have a son, and, you know, you guys are traveling, and kind of, you know, your family thing. You got your brother that plays with you guys as well, right?
My brother, my father is also on the team, and then my mother plays. She doesn't play competitively, but she also plays airsoft as well.
Oh my God, dude, this is awesome. Hey, I'm going to tell you, man, I'll tell you what'd be really cool in the future is to have you and your whole family, you know, including Mama Yaga and all the, you know, everybody on this call together. You know, we can have multiple people on here.
We can do that.
Screens will just be split. It'd be really cool to talk, because I think this is the first time I've heard of a whole family like this being, you know, playing together like this.
Oh yeah, we're like the Brady Bunch, the BB Bunch.
The badass Brady Bunch, man. Hell yeah. That's cool.
The Brady Bunch with guns.
No shit, dude. Dylin, it's been awesome meeting you, man. So
you too.
Thank you so much for you know, agreeing to come on here, and thank you for your time. Thank you for yeah, man, being, you know, coming through what you came through with a positive, you know, outcome. You're not bitter, you're not, you know, negative, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a pleasure talking with you.
You too. Absolutely.
So tell everybody again real quick where they can find you and all your information for all your different things coming up.
So all of my socials are I am Dylin. It's Dylin, because my mom is weird. But that's YouTube, Instagram. My Twitter is I am Dylin YT, because someone already has I am Dylin somehow, and they haven't been active for years.
Oh,
and
that's annoying.
I can't get the handle. But and then soon, hopefully by the time that you release this, it'll be live. But Nebula Airsoft, you'll be able to find all of our whole team, all of our socials and everything like that. And nebula.airsoft is our team page. So, you know, you can check that out. And yeah, I mean, we're all super friendly. Hit us up anytime.
I appreciate you, man.
You too. Thank you.